Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to another video. You're tuned into the Bible series. I'm your host, Crystal Rebel. The Bible series I have been enjoying making. Now, if you watched the poly video, then this is the follow-up to it. If you haven't watched the poly video, then you need to press the link in the description. Leave this pause. It'll be in your history. Go watch the poly. Then come back to this one. And let's see what perspective you have. Because here I will be talking about poly, a very small smidget, like a little sprinkle. And everything else will be discussed on monogamy. So when I'm telling you this, I want you to really, truly examine it from the perspective that I'm giving you. And then I want you to add your own perspective. This is strictly because of feelings, personal feelings of mine, and me caring about others and having these particular relationships and knowing the aspect of how the women in my life over the course of it have felt about how I particularly went when in relationships. Understand that first and foremost. This is the disclaimer alert right here. Now, you see it at the top? Disclaimer alert may be triggering, may hurt feelings, may make you very upset, may make you leave and not watch the remainder of this video and then miss the message because you got triggered by something that was said. Understand first and foremost, your pastor was lying to you, your grandma was lying to you, your mom was lying to you, whoever you want to say that's a Bible person, if they told you that God said get married. Because God never said get married. God didn't tell Adam to get married, and he didn't tell Eve to get married because he didn't even talk to her until they ate of the fruit that they wasn't supposed to eat of. When you think about this aspect, I want you to understand that by any means am I trying to attack or hurt feelings, or to say that poly is the only way, and encouraging every man to behave that way. By no means am I doing that. I'm only simply giving you several perspectives. Monogamy plus marriage equals the Bible. Because when you hear monogamy, you think marriage. When you think marriage, you think the Bible. But I just told you earlier that God didn't say get married. So what is marriage? Marriage is a social construct. Now, what is a social construct? The same way how we think 12 inches is a foot, collectively all the people with the minds of mathematics all say that 12 inches equal a foot. Now, as you learn in woke culture and all these different things, that several social constructs that existed over time need to be there, while also some can go away. But either way, that's not the particular point here that we're trying to prove, is it? What we're trying to prove is that two things can exist at one time. Two things can be true. They can be true to every life. And ultimately, what is the institution of marriage most beneficial to? Now, while many will say it's beneficial to the man because he get a wife who clean, could make sure his things is organized, all this different stuff while he conquers the world. Then many will say it's the woman because she's getting with the man, and if he becomes this, that, and the third, she'll inherit all of his stuff after he passes away. She's covered because she's not out, out there getting ran through, whatever the case may be. Then many other people will say the man nor woman benefits from it at all because all of those things are intertwined into one another. So it's like, and the most beneficial is the children because they then inherit all these things that you built for them, and they have a better chance to succeed seeing both of their parents together and being able to say, hey mom, can you to help me with this? And hey, Dad, can you help me with this? Because it's like every kid's dream, and they like see it kind of glorified to them. So many people say it's true. Either way, whatever you want to call it, I'll say it has more of a psychological aspect to it for both men and women, but mainly it's for women. Now, there can be a man that could be like Jacob, where he sees a woman as beautiful as Rachel and comes up to whomever it is his daughter and say, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to have her. And then you have your Leah, who's Rachel's sister, who was also Jacob's wife, who is unloved. Now, of course, her origins there with Jacob is through trickery. So, I mean, it really isn't fair. But that's what it goes to show, that life isn't fair. As you've heard the cliche saying, it's choices and trade-offs. Sometimes you're going to have to make choices to sacrifice certain things that you're going to want to do for the betterment of the team. And then sometimes you're going to have to trade off certain things. It is what it is. In order for us to exist under these particular constructs, we first have to understand they have dual meanings. While many of them we could throw in the fire and re-examine them and figure out ways to make it better, there's other ones that have reasons and needs to exist. You have your governments. You have governmental programs. Those are all social constructs. It actually gives you an example of social construct because you socially see your senators and your representatives getting together and constructing a particular plan and then introducing it to society. Chris ain't on here saying, I don't believe in getting married or you shouldn't do it. Other people tell you this, that, and the third. That's not really my position here in this particular video, or nor will it be my position in the future. My position is that there's an existence of two things. Poly has its own existence and meaning behind it and practicality of why one would even fathom this particular mindset. And then I can understand the monogamy and the love and one true love and one soulmate. I believe that aspect also exists. But the one thing that we must take from it is that all these particular subjects all require a conversation that needs to be had between those two particular people in order for it to even exist. I appreciate you for tuning in to the video. I'm your host, Chris the Rebel. Monogamy has its own reasoning for being where it is. I believe it all exists. So, tell me what you think about it. If you watch the poly episode, then you watch the monogamy episode. And you could just say you put them two together. I would like to hope that you take a critical thought process of it and really think about, all the practical things that I'm breaking down about childbearing and different things that I'm breaking an aspect. And then I want you just tell me what it is you truly think. Now I know that it's not gonna go over well anyways, because most people like it's gotta be all me, only me. And I can respect that, so it ain't really no slight to that. It's just more or less we breaking down these several different things of this Bible series. I already told you what I think about monogamy and how it's just really a feelings with this video. Because it ain't really told us to be that way. It is told us to be disciplined. It is told to us to use discernment. It is told to us to understand our energy in giving it to another person and how us giving that to that other person has some kind of significance. So we got all kind of things telling us how to move with our sexuality, with our energies, with our high vibrations, low vibrations, different things like that. It has all kind of rudiments all through it telling us. I appreciate you again for tuning in. I'm Chris the Rebel, and I'll holler at you another time.